protect us from our enemies. Set up a snare which they can't recover from. Let your will be done, in earth as well as in heaven. Y'all know how we come.
I love Chris Rich.
Stand your ground, hold it down, hold it down. I'm everywhere the soldiers found, loyal just like homeward bound. Writings on the wall, it's like we all been born here. The reason we been born here. Lately having visions, got the feeling this is our year. Neighbors watch with cold stares, sitting in the lawn chairs. Something's in the air. The day the world stood still, it told me I was crazy, but maybe I just do too much. Stayed up out the way. I tried not to do too much, but pressure started building up. Something like a cobra clutch. Pressure bust pipes will build down. So tell me what God you trust. They must be off the angel dust, thinking they can bang with us. If they come and lock me up, the fringes on my ankle cuffs. I ain't never shutting up, spitting all this fire, watching Babylon just burning up. Cause I ain't never shutting up, spitting all this fire all the way into the kingdom come. Father, protect us, we at war. We at war, Lord. Lion of Judah, let them roar, Lord. Keep us safe, wanna test us to the core, Lord. Father, protect us, we at war. We at war, Lord. Lion of Judah, let them roar, Lord. They wanna test us to the core, Lord. Father, protect us, we at war. We at war, Lord. Father, deliver us, we at war. We at war, Lord. It's time to get our souls measured right now, more than ever. Birds of a feather flock together. In times, that's what matters. We not the same, not at all. It ain't about a dollar. It's not a game going off every time they cross us. Wartime, camouflage and more lead than the false and false prophets prophesied. I'm appalled, damn nauseous. If your vision getting foggy, heed the words of these apostles. The vision so in depth, waking up in cold sweat. Still I have no more stress. Give me like the process, give me strength to progress. Israel, we got next. We sounding off a kingdom come, mighty trumpet in the drum. Keep a verse right under the thumb, so keep your curses off your tongue. That's for certain. We got hunger, they full of greed. They leave us with crumbs. We under siege, escaping the slums. Ain't no fear, they know we from. Rivers of wisdom, let it flow. And the street rappers don't want no smoke. On this mic, I ain't no joke. Spitting life until I broke. Father, protect us, we at war. We at war, Lord. Lion of Judah, let them roar. They wanna test us to the core, Lord. Father, protect us, we at war. We at war, Lord. Lion of Judah, let them roar, Lord. They wanna test us to the core, forgive us. Father, protect us, we at war. We at war, Lord. Father, protect us, we at war. We at war, Lord.
Shalom, Israel. It's your boy New Breed coming through with another live stream. And that track right there, it quantifies this particular lesson that we got for this beautiful morning. Warlord is the name of the track, and you can find that on New Breed's Music and Motivation. And it's interesting because we're going to be talking about the Haitian Revolution a little bit today. And when it comes to warfare, and when it comes to a true insurrection of the Haitians, also known as the Zos, man, I'm telling you, it was a lot of war going on. That quantified war right there. But we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to give a history lesson that you was not taught in high school. You was not taught in college. You was not taught in elementary school. You will get a history lesson like never before in regards to the Haitians, right? And we're going to bring it from the past to the present of what's going on. And we're also going to show you, without a shot of a doubt, that the Levitical priesthood written of in the Bible have a direct correlation to what we know now as the Haitians. In fact, they're the same people. And we're going to go into some history and prove that. Also, towards the end of the stream, we're going to go into some current events because there's a lot going on in the world, but we got to cover this history lesson. For those who don't know, I've been basically doing videos covering all 12 tribes of Israel. All right. The first one we started with was Judah. Oh my, here comes Judah. A lot of y'all seen that particular stream. And now we're going to the tribe of Levi. and we're going to give some history on them. The priesthood that they are afraid of, the priesthood that they fear. That's the name of this video. Before we go in, let me greet you all, the good people. I see y'all rolling in the chat. I see Jermaine Daniel in the house. I see the members in the house. I see Courtney's in here. DJ Tatted. What's good with y'all? Man. Gloria Aquino. DeAsia's in the house. All praises. Yeah, Young Gene. What's up, Young Gene? As y'all enter this particular stream, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up. Allow this video to spread so people can get the notification. We're going to be going in as usual. We're going to be going to the scriptures, and we're going to be going to the sources as well. We're going to be going into some sources. This is going to be a real informative stream, very informative for you people who are interested in biblical knowledge and history, and you're interested in genealogies and things of that nature, and you're interested in the tribes, the lost tribes of Israel, then you're going to be finding out a lot about the tribe of Levi today. Yeah, I see you in here. Yeah, Josh is in the house. Joe Veg in the house. Eric, what's up, Eric? Lachia Coleman, how you doing, sister? Q's in the house. Shy Alpha. Okay. That's what's up. All praises to the Most High. Y'all make sure y'all get the thumbs up, because I want to make sure I don't have to reiterate or regurgitate any of this information this morning. I want to make sure everybody's able to get their notification. First and foremost, we're going to start off with some scripture. And, you know, we're not going to prolong going into the sources, but there's a couple scriptures I would like to go to set the stage and set the foundation here. All right. First and foremost, when it comes to the 12 tribes of Israel, Levi, they were very special. They were very different. They will be considered somewhat the outcast of the 12 tribes because they had their own thing going. They were not left an inheritance by their predecessor, which is Moses, because the Most High himself was their inheritance. And that's according to the scriptures. The Most High God was their inheritance. So they wasn't left behind anything. They had to fend and fight for themselves. They were a priesthood. They were separate from everybody else because they had their own ways, not because they were outcasts because we hated Haitians or any other tribes was against Haitians, but they had their own ways, their own customs, their own practices, and their own culture within a culture. And you would call that a subculture. So among the 12 tribes of Israel, the tribe of Levi, also known as Haitians, they had a subculture. All right. They were in charge with sacrifices. They were in charge of rituals. Because, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, DJ Newtall. Thank you for becoming a member, brother. Appreciate the support. When it comes to any strong belief system, there has to be a priesthood involved. And if you look at these Gentiles, right, when you look at how they conduct things, they have a military, right? They have a church, which will be considered a priesthood, you know, the Roman Catholics. They have, they have the economic branch of it, which would be considered the UN. You know, the UN would be the economic side of it. That's the same thing when it comes to the lost tribes of Israel. We all had our roles and our positions. It just so happened that the tribe of Levi was more on the lines of the priesthood. All right. All right. Thank you for the $5 contribution, Troy. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 18:1. And it reads, the priest, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. Blessings. E Sharp, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says, I'm a Haitian music producer who is done with the industry. The veil has been lifted, and I want to do my part to share what I have been learning through sound. I'm in the ATL. Okay, shout out. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the contribution. And hit me up on Instagram because I'm in ATL as well. And it'll be dope to link up with other music producers. Deuteronomy 18:1 tells us, the priests, the Levites, the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. See, there will be a subculture. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. See, they were in charge of sacrificing. I mean, they were so in detail with it that if someone was actually killed or murdered in a town, right? Somebody was murdered. Let's use murder. And nobody knew who murdered someone. They were so spiritually inclined that they can actually sacrifice an animal, and depending on which way the blood would actually flow, they would have an idea of who assassinated an individual. That's how deep they were when it came to sacrificing. It just so happens nowadays, a lot of Haitians in Haiti are playing on the left-hand side because they've been corrupted by these Gentiles. And now when they sacrifice, they're doing voodoo, magic, spells. But back then, when we was on our deen, Haitians were actually sacrificing for the Most High, all right? Because for the remission of sins, there had to be bloodshed. Before Christ came, and Christ was the ultimate sacrifice, there had to be bloodshed, all right? Now, let's get into it. Let's get to a couple more scriptures. Now, we're going to talk about the predecessor of the Haitians, the tribe of Levi. You know, in the Here Come Judah, stream we did when we was breaking down the tribe of Judah, we spoke a lot about Christ because Christ will be our predecessor. He will be the most notable figure who was ruling, or the most notable figure of our people in the Bible would be Christ, the tribe of Judah, because Christ sprang from Judah. But Moses, oh man, Moses wasn't nothing to sleep on either, brothers and sisters. I'm going to go to 1 Chronicles 23:14, and it reads, now concerning Moses, the man of God, his sons were named of the tribe of Levi. Yeah, yes, indeed. For those who didn't know, Moses was from the tribe of Levi. All right. Moses did so many miracles, bro. The particular skill set that he had, none of Pharaoh's magicians could do nothing with Moses. The man took a staff and turned it into two serpents. They couldn't do a damn thing with Moses and his power that he had. Moses, the same man who also fasted 40 days and 40 nights and received the actual law, statutes, and commandments. Yeah. Got a whole book dedicated. It's called the Book of Leviticus, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Levi, Leviticus, where God actually gave Moses his laws to show you how powerful the Haitians was. And you know, some people are like, well, Breed, you have not yet proved that Levi are Haitians. Okay. Time to get to the proof, which would be scriptural. What I will prove to you right now is that Haitians were melanated people. Levi, the tribe of Levi, was melanated people. All right. The tribe of Levi was melanated people. And I'm going to prove that. Jermaine Daniel, thank you for the $20 contribution. Says Shalom Breed. Appreciate you for speaking the truth and putting these heathens back against the wall. All praises to the Most High Yah. 144,000. Absolutely. Thank you for that, brother. And that's what it's all about, man. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to this 12 tribes series that I'm putting together, it is literally all about the unification of the saints. You know, we all have cultural differences, but ultimately we need to be going against these Gentiles. And I'm not talking about all Gentiles that you see. I'm talking about the Gentiles that have steadily oppressed us, the Gentiles that refuse to tell the children of Israel the truth, the Gentiles who refuse to give us our true history, and the Gentiles who have been using us, exploiting us, the Gentiles who are unrepentant, although they know that their fathers have inherited lies when it comes to history. So yeah, we putting our back against the wall. And before, there's something I want to go to now that you brought that up, and I'm not going to digress. I'm going to go back to proving that Levi was melanated, because we already proved that Moses was from the tribe of Levi. But there's something else that I want to go to and share with y'all real quick from my Patreon. I want to share something with y'all just to show you that this is about the lost sheep. This is about unification. And I want to go to a source that I posted that essentially would have been on New Breeze Green Light News, but I went ahead and posted it on Patreon because, New Breeze Green Light News is now inactive because of a third community strike. So now all my news is going on Patreon. But let me go ahead and post this. Let me go ahead and show y'all this. I'm going to share this from the phone. And I'm sharing Malcolm X speaking on the very same thing. And this video is called "Do Not Go to the Gentiles." I just want to put that up real quick. Because no. Let's get it.
Because he told his disciples, go not the way of the Gentiles, but rather go to the lost sheep. He discriminated. Don't go near the Gentiles, go to the lost sheep. Go to the oppressed. Go to the downtrodden. Go to the exploited.
Let's play that again.
Go to the people who don't know who they are.
What? Hold on. Let's get that again. Let me get that from the top, y'all. Let me get that from the top. Enrique Williams, thank you for joining, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the chosen ones. Let's get that back. Go not to the Gentiles. Let me show you how ahead of the time Malcolm X was, man.
Because he told his disciples, go not the way of the Gentiles, but rather go to the lost sheep. He discriminated. Don't go near the Gentiles, go to the lost sheep. Go to the oppressed. Go to the downtrodden. Go to the exploited. Go to the people who don't know who they are, who are lost from the knowledge of themselves, and who are strangers in a land that is not theirs. Go to those people. Go to the slaves. Go to the second-class citizens. Go to the ones who are suffering the brunt of Caesar's brutality. And if Jesus were here in America today, he wouldn't be going to the white man. The white man is the oppressor. He would be going to the oppressed. He would be going to the humble. He would be going to the lowly. He would be going to the rejected and the despised. He would be going to the so-called American Negro.
And that's what it's all about, man. We're going to our people who don't know who they are spiritually. Our people who have turned to voodoo, witchcraft, new age practices. Our people who have been disenfranchised and cut off from their culture. That's who we going to right now. So anybody who is against that is an enemy of ours. And I just wanted to point that out. Anybody who's against that is an enemy of ours, because this is not about classism or racism or superiority. This is about people who have been downtrodden, who deserve to have their true culture magnified. People who have been downtrodden, who deserve to have their piece of the pie. All right. I apologize for the background noise. I think somebody's cutting wedges outside. I'm going to allow them to pass on by, and I'm going to share with y'all another scripture. The enemy always trying to disturb the mission, but we on it. Blessings, blessings. Yeah, Malcolm X was definitely ahead of his time. And you notice we don't get a Malcolm X Day. We get all these other holidays, but where's Malcolm X Day? Them Gentiles was afraid of that man because he was speaking that truth. Now, when we talk about Moses, the predecessor of the tribe of Levi, in all the movies about Moses, he's depicted as a Caucasian man. He's depicted by Charleston Heston. They always talking about the miracles that he performed, the plagues that hit Egypt, but there's things that they leave out. There's one miracle in particular that they always tend to leave out that prove that Moses was a melanated man. They always leaving it out. And I'm going to go to it. Exodus chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, now put thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. His hand was leprous as snow. So the miracle when Moses actually turned his hand white, leprous as snow, already proves that he was melanated to begin with. Moses was a man of color. He was melanated. All right. So now we know not only was Moses Haitian or from the tribe of Levi, let's just put it there for now. He was from the tribe of Levi, but he also was melanated, because if his hand can turn white as snow as a miracle, he's performing a miracle. And this is to show you that they already knew, because they left that out on the movies when he did that miracle. If his hand turned white as snow, he had to have hue and melanin already in his skin. All right. So, yeah, absolutely. Y'all got to look that up. That's somebody said, yeah, I never knew. Yeah, look that up. That's on what scripture is that? Exodus 4 and 6 for sure. Yeah, somebody said it right. White will be the opposite of melanated. Exactly. Exactly. So we know that Moses was a man of color and he was from the tribe of Levi. All right, now that we set the stage, I'm gonna go into some sources here. I'm gonna share my screen with y'all, and I want y'all to get the thumbs up on this video. Get the thumbs up on the video. Allow me to share my screen with y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Now, in this particular video right here, by the way, fair use, fair use, fair use. I want to talk about Haitians' connections to New Orleans. Haitians' connections to New Orleans. I'm going to play some of this video here and I'm going to chime in. Let's see.
If we look at Haiti and the American city of New Orleans on a map, we would see that they are relatively close in proximity. However, if we look beyond the map, we will see that they have more in common than just a similar location. In 1791, there was a Haitian Revolution, which led to Haitian independence from France. Due to the revolution, many Haitians...
Hey, the Haitian Revolution was a bloodbath. They fought. It was a major insurrection. They fought for their freedom. Let's continue.
...were displaced and ultimately found a home in the great city of New Orleans. Haiti and New Orleans have many things in common, most importantly, a connection between the cultures of the two places. Since Haiti and New Orleans are separated by the...
Now, I want to point out something off break. If you notice the culture in Haiti, right? The culture in Haiti, there's a lot of magic. There's a lot of practices. There's a lot of voodoo. A lot of witchcraft. To show you that that is pretty much Sin City for Haitians. And the Gentiles made it this way because they want to make sure that all the magic that they're doing is not the Most High's authority. It's not being facilitated through the Almighty. Y'all got to remember, Moses parted the sea. Moses had some connections with nature. He had connections with actual nature. And I want y'all to notice that they're showing on this particular documentary, they're showing what happened in regards to Hurricane Katrina. Now, Everybody that I met from Haiti, from New Orleans. Once I was in Job Corps in Baltimore, I met a lot of individuals who were displaced after Hurricane Katrina hit. And it was real, real bad, y'all. I know y'all remember Kanye West saying, hey, George Bush don't care about black people. And everything was looking bad. Every single person that I spoke to in Job Corps in Baltimore told me that they heard the levees blow. They heard an explosion, the levees blow. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention. The word is levee. The word is levee. Let the levees blow. Levi, levee, Levi, levee, Levi, levee. See, these people are very, very, very cunning. And they operate very majestic-like. They got to be very subliminal. They operate in sleight of the hand when they have to go against the Haitians. When it comes to warfare against Haiti, they have to be very ominous with how they conduct war. The levees blow. You have the tribe of who? Levi, the Haitians, predominantly where? In New Orleans. This is warfare. This is warfare against our people. They don't always come at us outright. Allow me to continue.
The waters of the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean, they both suffer heavily from natural disasters, most importantly hurricanes. In her Huffington Post article about the natural disasters affecting Haiti and New Orleans, Beverly Bell states, as a native and resident of New Orleans who has spent 3 decades in and out of Haiti, this has been a harrowing week. The two locales sit squarely in Hurricane Isaac's path. This statement shows one of the major geographic connections between Haiti and New Orleans. The city and country must prepare for hurricanes the same, as any one hurricane could devastate both Haiti and New Orleans. Any hurricane that threatens Haiti is also likely to threaten the city of New Orleans.
Another major connection between New Orleans and Haiti is the presence of voodoo in both areas. Voodoo originated in Africa as a religious practice, but it was then spread to Haiti when African slaves were brought to Saint-Domingue, present-day Haiti. After the Haitian Revolution, these slaves, as well as some native Haitians, came to New Orleans and brought the voodoo practice along with them. However, there are distinct differences between New Orleans, Louisiana voodoo and Haitian voodoo. Haitian voodoo is technically called voodoo, and all followers believe there is an omnipotent God who does not directly intervene in their lives. Louisiana voodoo is called voodoo. It is consistent of religious practices, but also encompasses magical practices along with spiritualism.
Now, y'all got to remember the Haitians, also known as the tribe of Levi, back in biblical days, they were in charge of the sacrifices. They were actually our priesthood. They were conducting powerful rituals. All rituals are not bad rituals, but now they're operating on the left-hand side, as you can see. And another thing, when you're talking about hurricanes and how much they hit Haiti, and it's along the same lines as New Orleans, it's literally a direct correlation. A lot of people don't know that they have weather modification known as HARP that often they use to attack the Haitians, but there's also spiritual powers that some of these Haitians be using. Trust and believe. Sometimes people be trying to bring their ships over there to Haiti to start some type of conflict or war, and them Haitians then conjured up something in the atmosphere that caused a hurricane. Yeah, that's how close they are with nature. When Moses parted the sea, he had control of the elements. When there was plagues in Egypt, when you had frogs and you had locusts and you had vegetation being dried out and you had all of that. Listen, Haitians always had that type of power, ladies and gentlemen. These are some powerful people, bro. And when they operating on the left-hand side, things can get real bad. And the enemy needs them to be doing witchcraft and voodoo and voodoo. The enemy needs them to be doing that so the enemy can attack them. Because the only way the devil can get in is if you let him in. If they were actually doing their rituals and performing their priesthood activities unto the Most High God, I'm telling you, the Gentile nations will absolutely be petrified, terrified, because they know what they can do, bro. They know what they can do. Telling you.
Even though there are differences between the two forms of voodoo, they both originated from Africa and a present connection between New Orleans and Haiti. Haitian culture came to New Orleans after the Haitian Revolution, but the story of how the people got here is even more intriguing. I interviewed Professor Angel Adams Parham of the Sociology Department at Loyola University about this subject, for which she had an array of knowledge. Professor Parham has authored a book titled American Roots, Racial Palpastics and the Transformation of Race, which analyzes the migration of people from Haiti to Louisiana. In the interview, Professor Parham discusses the migration of Haitian people to New Orleans. According to Professor Parham, after there were massive killings and the punishment in Haiti, many people went to Cuba. These people were white landowners, slave owners, and enslaved people. The wealthy landowners and slave owners tried reestablishing their fortunes in Cuba through coffee plantations. In 1809, strife between France and Spain became because Napoleon put his brother on the Spanish throne. At this point, Cuba was under Spanish control. However, many of the people who migrated to Cuba identified as French. The people's property was taken and destroyed because of their French identity. Due to this destruction, the migrants from Haiti...
The French, I mean, not the French Revolution, but the Haitian Revolution, man, it was absolutely a lot of bloodshed. They were going to war. Matter of fact, let me go to something. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me read a little something about the Haitian Revolution, just so we can put everything in context of what the video is saying. For those who are unfamiliar, it says, and I'm going to Britannica real quick. Haitian Revolution, series of conflicts between 1791 and 1804. Haitian slaves, colonists, the armies of the British and French colonizers, and a number of other parties. Through the struggle, the Haitian people ultimately won independence from France and thereby became the first country to be founded by former slaves. So they had to fight. I'm talking about they were killing thousands of these Gentiles. They was killing them by the thousands, bro. But essentially, when this French Revolution broke out, there was a lot of casualties of war. There was a lot of casualties of war. And if you're looking at this, ultimately, although they earned their own sovereign land, Haiti is poor. Haiti is still owed recompense. When we're talking about Haiti, right? We're talking about people who had to fight for their freedom and are still being stripped of natural resources and still being used by the French to this day, ladies and gentlemen. So they might have won the battle. When you look at it in essence, they won the battle, but the war is still going on. The war is still going on, literally. When it comes to recompense and them getting what they deserve, Haitians haven't got what they deserve at all. You understand? They haven't got what they deserve at all. Unfortunately. And these Gentiles, they still rebel in this. They still rebel in what the damage that they done. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how much they, till this day, rebel in the damage that they done to Haitians in Haiti. Let me play a little bit more of this here.
Haiti to Cuba had to find a place to go quickly so they would not be killed. They eventually discovered and liked Louisiana because of the French background that they shared. Louisiana was still under the control of Spanish.
So now you're getting an understanding of why they gravitated towards New Orleans. All right. You see, America is one big melting pot. The children of Israel have been in captivity all over the states, all over these southern states, all through the Bible Belt. We've been scattered abroad, especially those southern kingdoms.
Yet they allowed the French culture and language to stay in Louisiana.
Oh, by the way, the southern kingdoms are Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. There will be the Negroes, there will be the Jamaicans, and there would be the Haitians. That's considered the southern kingdoms, and those are the most melanated out of all the 12 tribes.
And more specifically, New Orleans.
After the Louisiana Purchase in 1801, Americans were now in control of Louisiana. By 1809, there had not been a significant time for a change in the culture or the language for that matter. 9,000 people from eastern Cuba who were originally from Haiti came to New Orleans because of its cultural ties. At the time, the population of New Orleans was only 10,000 people, so this migration almost doubled the entire population. These people came to New Orleans and stayed here for the remainder of their lives, leading to a prominent Haitian presence in New Orleans today. Professor Parham also discussed the negative effects of the migration of the Haitian people. When the Haitian migrants came to Louisiana, many native residents feared them and believed they would start their own uprising in New Orleans.
Yep, they feared them. I'm telling you, they thought they was going to cause an uprising, bro. I'm telling you, man, that's how bad, that's how much fear they put these people in, bro. The Haitians wasn't playing, man. That's why a lot of Zoes got that energy, man. Imagine when they redirect and transmute that energy to this word of God. I mean, it's going to be unstoppable. Y'all got to imagine the unification of the saints and why these Gentiles are so afraid. Why are they rolling out all of this nonsense on the media? I'm trying to keep it clean on this particular video. Y'all got to understand why they rolling out all the nonsense, all the propaganda, all the predictive programming, all the fear tactics. Because they already know that if those even just one of the tribes get the picture of what's going on, and we're talking all spiritually, that they're going to have problems and issues. But, you know, it's our job to inform who we are. But here we go. Let's play a little more of this.
The New Orleanians' fear came to fruition after the 1811 uprising, now called the 1811 German Coast Uprising. This name comes from immigrants who settled in the area in the 1720s. The German Coast Uprising occurred in St. Charles and St. John the Baptist parishes. Many historians believe the uprising was started by slaves who came from Haiti and after the Haitian Revolution. The revolt was led by Charles de Slandes, who was a Haitian and a slave driver, which means he was in charge of a group of slaves, but still enslaved himself. The uprising started at the house of Manuel Andre, who was a slave owner. A group of slaves badly wounded Mr. Andre as well as killed his son Gilbert.
Now, there's a lot going on. We can go into numerous stories of how they rebelled. We can go into
began marching.
We can go into numerous stories how they rebelled. And this is a part of history that's often just blacked out because they don't like to see an uprising. You know, you'll hear certain isolated events, but people really don't talk about the Haitian Revolution and how, you know, they got tired of being enslaved. People don't really speak about that. So, you know, that's why I played Warlord at the beginning because, hey, they was going to war, man. They weren't playing no games. They weren't playing no games at all, bro. But you know what? I'm going to show you how these Gentiles to this day rebel and the damage that they done to the Haitians, right? I'm going to go to another source right here. I'm going to share something on the screen with y'all. And I'm going to give you a bit of history that you may not have known, right? Let me get this one off the screen. Let's get that one off. All right. Now give me one moment. All right. Let's get it. All right. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. What the world? I'm going to share something with y'all. Hopefully y'all can see this picture here. Let me see. Make sure everything is working properly. All right. So some of y'all know off the break what logo this is. Levi's jeans. Levi's jeans. Now, if you look at this photograph, it may be disturbing to some. During the brink of the Haitian Revolution, the defiant slaves, the ones who were defiant, the ones who were strong, the ones who rebelled, the ones who begin to start the uprising. To make an example out of these Haitian slaves, these slaves of color, what they would do is they would tie ropes to each limb of that slave's body. And what they would do is they would whip the horses. And the horses would run. And the horses would literally rip that slave limb from limb. And to add insult to injury, they would actually do this with the slave on fire. They would light him on fire and rip him limb for limb. Now, I want you to look at the Levi's. You know, Levi, Haitians, Levi, tribe of Levi, tribe of Levi. Is anything making sense to you? Hit a thumbs up in this chat if this is adding up to y'all. If y'all getting informed right now. Tribe of Levi, right? Levi's genes, Haitians, Haitian Revolution, punishments. Look at this. I want y'all to pay close attention to the Levi symbol. You got what appears to be two cowboys whipping a horse while it's connected to some jeans. Y'all see the odd similarities here? So now we know who the tribe of Levi is. We know who the Haitians are. And this is in stores every day, everywhere. A lot of y'all didn't know this, but I had to inform you about this because I personally, I tear the patches off Levi jeans. I really don't pay attention to the brands that I'm wearing, long as it fits. But at the end of the day, when I knew the history of this, I tore all the patches off. Somebody said, I'm glad I never had a pair. Facts, though. Levi. Let's go to some more scriptures. I'm going to, let's see, we got the book of Numbers. We're going to the book of Numbers. Numbers chapter 3, 6 through 8. And it reads, bring the tribe of Levi near and present them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister unto him. And they shall keep his charge and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacles of the congregation, to do the service of the tabernacle. And they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation and the charge of the children of Israel to do the service of the tabernacle. Tribe of Levi, Haitians, all my Zoes, we need y'all to tap back into your priesthood. We need y'all to get your instruments of war, your herbs, your natural resources, your instruments that you use to combat the enemy. Because now that you've let the enemy in, you've allowed the Gentiles to brainwash you and make you believe that voodoo and voodoo is your culture. They no longer can kill you physically like they was doing back in the day. They no longer can enslave you physically. You fought for your sovereign land. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. So anytime they have an operation against you, it's a covert operation. The way they fight you is spiritually. You're going to have to begin to fight back spiritually. Instead of doing the voodoo, instead of the new age, instead of going into all these practices, tarot cards, witchcraft, going to get psychic readings and all of these things, right? You're going to have to get back to your true power and fight them spiritually. You're going to have to fight them as the priesthood that the Most High set up for you. You're going to have to be our spiritual powers. We need the tribe of Levi to wake up. You're not just a Zoe. You're not just into Cajun, into what those Cajun practices are there in New Orleans. The Most High God chose you to be priest. If anybody can fight them using nature and the power and the forces of nature, causing hurricanes, causing the earth to shake, causing earthquakes, causing these Gentiles to tremble because you got the power it takes. If it's anybody that can do it, it's the tribe of Levi. It's the tribe of Levi. If there's any tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel that can shake these people up using actual nature and the forces that come with it through their spiritual innate impulses and power, it's the tribe of Levi. We need them to come back to the tabernacle. Get rid of that damn voodoo. Telling you. And there's a lot of people. I used to work with a lot of Haitians, man, and you can't tell me that a lot of our brothers and sisters ain't heavy into those practices, bro. They heavy into it. And that's the only reason they able to pull off Hurricane Katrina. That's the only reason the levees broke. Levi, levees. Oh, these people are subliminal. Y'all ain't know? Levi's genes. Oh, they real subliminal. Anytime they fight against Levi, they have to do it subliminally. They can't be outright coming against y'all. They know who you are. Listen, they know who you are. They been knew who you were. Let me go to Chronicles. Oh, I already read that scripture. Pardon me. I already read that scripture in Chronicles. Let me go some more here and Numbers. And let's read that again, and we're going to go down some. These also, this is Numbers chapter 3. These also are the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that the Lord spake with Moses in Mount Sinai. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron. Nadab, the firstborn, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron and the priests which were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest's office. And Nobad and Abihu died before the Lord when they offered strange fire before the Lord. They offered strange fire before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. And they had no children. And Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron their father. Now, what does it mean? They died because they offered the Most High strange fire. What do you mean offered them strange fire? What it means by offer them strange fire, since they were in charge of the rituals and the sacrifices, they had done something weird, something different. They started making practices that is out of bounds. And y'all got to understand, in those days, they were actually sacrificing children, in case you don't know, to the fires of Moloch. They begin to serve Moloch. It's Moloch worship. A lot of voodoo in general is Moloch worship. All right. Most voodoo is about reverencing Moloch. That's where everything derived from. When Moses delivered our people, parted the sea, we walked through dry shod, people begin to take all their jewelry and pendants, and they begin to make a golden calf, which represented Moloch, and they were actually sacrificing children to this idol. All right. And it reads, and Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord when they offered strange fire before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. And they had no children. And Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron their father. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, bring the tribe of Levi near and present them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister unto him. And they shall keep his charge and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacles of the congregation to do the service of the tabernacle. And they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle, the congregation, and the charge of the children of Israel, to do the service of the tabernacle. Verse 9. And thou shalt give the Levites unto Aaron to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel. And thou shalt appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest's office. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel. See, now we have the separation between the Levitical priesthood and the rest of the children of Israel. It says, and I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of Israel. Now we're talking about the matrix. Oh man, this is going to get spiritual. I'm telling y'all. Let's read this again. I want y'all to pay close attention to verse 12. This is really, really deep right here. And it reads, and I behold, and I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of the firstborn that openeth the matrix. See, the firstborn, which they didn't have children, right? They opened up a matrix when they burnt strange fire unto the Most High. The Haitians opened up a matrix, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I want to go to the definition of the word matrix. All right, y'all bear with me. Let me pull up. I thought I had that definition up, but let me pull it up. I want y'all to see what the matrix is according to the Bible, right? Let me pull that word up. The definition of an actual matrix, just to show you how much spiritual power Haitians have. It says they opened up a matrix. True love, thank you for the $3 super sticker. Appreciate you. Matrix, a noun, an environment or material in which something develops surrounding mediums or structures. Free choices become the matrix of human life, a mass of fine-grained rock in which gems, crystals, or fossils are embedded. Yes. So when they burnt strange fire unto the Most High, they created an environment in which something develops, a surrounding medium or structure. They open up portals and gateways to demonic forces. They open up portals and gateways to spirits. They crossed over to another realm when they burnt strange fire unto the Most High. True love, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says, Salome King, new breed. I'm learning so much from you. Thank you. I love you. Love you too, sis. I'm glad you're getting edified in this particular stream. Blessings to you. Lachia Coleman says, it's amazing all the knowledge in the Holy Bible, hidden truth that was never taught in the church house. Absolutely. No doubt about that. Now, let me continue to go to that particular scripture here in Exodus. Let's see. Let's pull that back up. Oh, that's the wrong one. Give me one moment. And for those who don't know, we're in Numbers chapter 3, and we're going down to and we're going down to verse 12. And I behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of Israel. Therefore, the Levites shall be mine. So the Most High had to claim the Levites, because all the firstborn are mine. For on that day that I smote the firstborn in the land of Egypt, because he smote the ones who opened the matrix. So he had to, in the culture, he had to basically adopt. Since they opened that matrix, Haitians had to be adopted essentially from the Most High. I hope that makes sense to y'all. The Haitians had to be adopted into this fold, because essentially they opened up a matrix. All right. Deasia, thank you for becoming a new member of the Chosen Ones. Highly appreciate you. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, number the children of Levi after the house of their fathers, by their families. Every male from a month old and upward shalt thou number them. And Moses numbered them, according to the word of the Lord, and he was commanded. And these were the sons of Levi. So Moses was in charge of basically counting all of the Levites and bringing them forth. And this gets into detail. It talks about a lot of things. I want y'all to, when you get a chance to read this whole chapter, read Exodus chapter 3, because it's powerful. I mean, not Exodus, Numbers chapter 3, pardon me, but it's very powerful. I'm gonna read one more. I'm gonna read a couple more here. I'm gonna skip down to verse 36, and it says, "And under the custody and charge of the sons of Merari shall be the board of tabernacles and the bars thereof, and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, and the vessels thereof, and that serveth thereof, and the pillars of the courts round about, and their sockets and their pins and their cords." See, these people had instruments. They had tools to use. Verse 39, all that were numbered of the Levites, which Moses and Aaron numbered at the commandment of the Lord throughout their families, all the males from a month old and upward were 22 and 1,000. So they started off 22 and 1,000. But I want y'all to go into it because it's such a direct correlation of the Levitical priesthood and what we know now as Haitians. Now, y'all know what I said I was going to do in this stream. I was going to go into a couple current events as well, just speaking on a couple things that I see going on. My final statement to all my Haitian brothers, all my Zoes, is just turn from that wicked ways, man. Turn from the witchcraft, turn from the sorcery, turn from the magic. The Most High literally sets you up with instruments, spiritual powers. You have a certain level of authenticity when it comes to what you can do in the spiritual realm that none of the other tribes have. That's why a lot of Haitians you meet are very, very, very spiritual people. Even Haitians you meet that don't know who they are. They don't know that they're from the Bible. They don't know that they're biblical people. They tend to be some very spiritual people. Tiffany Nicole, thank you for the $5 contribution. Says so informative. Love the information. Thank you, sis. Thank you for contributing to this work. Highly appreciate you. I've met Haitians that are interesting people. Like they look at signs in the sky and they understand it. Like I've met a Haitian brother who can look at the sky and tell you certain things, literally tell you like what times we in, just gazing into the clouds. I mean, these are some very spiritual people. They have certain connections with this atmosphere that everybody don't have. And the enemy knows this. Why you think he set up why you think the enemy set up New Orleans the way he did? He made it a conclave of sin. You go to New Orleans, what they got out there? They got the damn they got the Mardi Gras, people pulling their titties out for beads and all of this thing. Like all of these material things have meaning. The beads, all of these things have meanings, ladies and gentlemen. So they set up this atmosphere. There's a lot of abominable foods out there too. People eating all kind of crawfish, shellfish, all kind of crab cakes, and like they made sure that they can hold you down spiritually. Heather, thank you for becoming a new member of the Chosen Ones. Bless you, sister. I'm glad you have joined. Yeah. Somebody said this pagan world, shaking my head. Yeah, they rolled out their paganism because they know that's the only way that they can attack the tribe of Levi. They know that that's the only way. Let me get this image off the screen here. Get that image off the screen. But they know that's the only way to attack the tribe of Levi. So my advice to all you brothers and sisters, all my Zoes, man, turn from your ways, man. Get into this Bible, because there's certain things that me being from the tribe of Judah, myself, There's certain things that you will read from this book and you would know how to apply it to actually bringing out something spiritual in this earth. You wouldn't know how to apply it. You know how to apply it tangibly. Only thing I can do is read, research, and study y'all and give you the truth. But when you tap into that book, when you actually peel the book open and you read from that book, there's going to be some things that you're going to bring out and things you're going to see that you're going to apply to this earth that these Gentiles are afraid of. They're afraid of it. They're afraid of you shaking the earth up. They're afraid of you having control and power in that way. You got to turn from the voodoo, though. You got to turn from that sin, that wickedness. That's not of us. That's the Bible gives you the origins of it. It started off in Mount Sinai, pardon me. It started off in Mount Sinai when we rebelled, when your progenitor Moses brung us through. Moses showed his power. Moses flexed. He flexed on Pharaoh. He flexed on them Egyptians. It's time for you Haitians to flex on the rest of this world. Tap into your spiritual powers, man. Yeah, somebody said, don't go to New Orleans. You might get possessed, man. Shh. Man, it's a conclave of sin. New Orleans definitely got a lot going on. But, there's a lot going on in the news as well. So just a few things I wanted to touch on. Some things that I noticed. You had Monique, famous comedian from Baltimore. She comes out and she talks about women wearing bonnets outdoors. And just to show you what's the word for it? Rebellious. Just to show you how rebellious and cantankerous that a lot of modern women are. Instead of taking advice from an older sister who wants to put us in a different light, put our women in a new perspective. Instead of our women saying, you know what, that's an older sister who really wants our women to be viewed as royalty at the end of the day. You got these women attacking Monique. Leanne Diamond, thank you for the $10 contribution. Highly appreciate you. You got these women going against Monique to be rebellious against her elder sister that they should have respect for. And they running around wearing bonnets in public and to be at adversity with their sister, man. Like that's bad. And I'm gonna just tell you, as a man who loves women, right? When I see women wearing bonnets, it's a turn off. It's unattractive, right? It's unattractive. It's no good. It looks, for lack of better terms, it looks ghetto, right? Will anybody agree? It doesn't look like royalty when you're wearing something on your head that actually should be worn to keep moisture in your hair, and you're wearing it outside. I mean, I'm just saying. Did Monique say anything wrong in regards to that? Did she say anything wrong? Like, why did people take offense to that? We can't say that we want older sisters to step up and help lead younger women. If we so far gone, when an older sister gives some advice that'll put you in a better positive light, because look, everything about us looking negative out here. We can't say we want sisters to rise up and speak truth if older sisters don't get no respect for speaking the truth from other sisters. That's one thing. I mean, it's nothing wrong with a head covering. Ladies who wear hair coverings who are married, that's actually part of our culture. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're wearing a bonnet, you going to your kid's school. I mean, come on, man. You going to the grocery store, you going to a post office, you going to your child's school, and you got on slippers, a bonnet, and all. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, don't you have any pride in yourself? Like, why are women mad at that? I just don't understand. That should have been something that was taken, like, you know what? Sister Monique, right. If we want respect as women, then we should be conducting ourselves a certain way. I'm just saying. But there's a lot going on, man. You got Kwame Brown, who spoke in defense of Candace Owens and the fake liberal left-wing freight train. And, you know, for those who don't know, I've actually spoken in defense of Candace Owens multiple times in the past, not because I'm in full agreement with her political views. I could care less about Democrats or Republicans. I don't care. I vote for the Most High God. I'm a biblical man. I don't care about their left wing or right wing. But what I do care about is logic and common sense. And often I don't care who the messenger is. All right. Often I can care less who the messenger is. I only care about the message. I don't care what you do in your personal life. I don't care what you know, how you look, how you act. But if the message makes sense and is logical, then I'm going for it. And a lot of things that Candace Owens says is true. So, you know, you got a lot of people going at Kwame Brown. Hey, I'm gonna just say, welcome to the club, bro. Welcome to the club. I know you new on this YouTube thing, and trust and believe, I didn't caught a lot of backlash myself speaking about, you know, certain talking points that Candace Owens have made. But the truth is the truth. A lot of y'all women out here, a lot of y'all sisters can learn a lot from what Candace Owens be saying. You know what I mean? A lot of these sisters rather listen to damn Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion before they listen to a woman who's actually educated, especially in regards to the political realm. I mean, just listen to what's being said. I don't care about her demeanor. I don't care about who she's married to. I don't care if she's a plant, because she may be. Who knows? We don't know who's a plant and who's not these days. Only thing we can go off of is the dialect or dialogue that somebody is sharing with us. That's just it. You take the meat, you spit out the bones. And also we got the left wing trying to basically eat off of what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street massacre. All of a sudden, now everybody want to, you know, go in arms about reparations with Black Wall Street. And I hope they get everything they deserve. But I'm going to just tell you now, if you are relying on any political structure to give any reparations, then you just wasting your time. Only thing they do is bring up certain things just so they can make sure they spearhead the voting process once again. That's all it's about. They known for doing it. They known for pulling on heartstrings. I don't believe nothing they say. You already see Patrice Kulas, I believe that's her name, the BLM lady, black, you know, blowing lots of money. I like to call them blowing lots of money. You see, she stepped down after being exposed for having her hands in a cookie jar. It's all about money. They always trying to feed off our turmoil and destruction. And for those who don't know, like if you go in my archives, if you go in the archives of my videos and look back some time ago, I actually visited Black Wall Street. I did last summer. Last summer, I went to Black Wall Street. I did interviews with business owners. I interviewed one brother in particular. If y'all haven't seen that video, y'all need to go back. I interviewed one brother in particular who broke down the tribes of Israel and how they were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and still are in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we're talking about the Indian tribes. Oh man, that was powerful. That brother dropped a lot of knowledge about his people, the indigenous people that were in that land. And we're talking about the Indians, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of Indians in Oklahoma and what happened. And a lot of people that you may not perceive as Indian, I'm telling you, some of them got skin that's darker than mine. Some of them got very melanated skin. Some of them have coarse hair and everything. When we talking about Indians, they are melanated people. The brother that I interviewed broke down his whole family lineage and who he is, bro. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, somebody said some people woke in here. Yeah, somebody said the real Indians. Yeah, they were very dark. They were very dark people. Don't get it twisted. Maria Rita says, yes, we are. Yep. Powerful prayer warriors in the house. Somebody said, what is the name of the video? I think it's called, I think it's something to do with Black Wall Street. Matter of fact, if you just put New Breed put New Breed in the description box of your YouTube search box and then put Black Wall Street. That should come up. Let me check. Let me see if that'll work. Because I want y'all to check that out. I hope it comes up. That was another video that they pretty much hid. They pretty much hid that because it was too powerful. Yep. There it go right there. Bringing awareness to Black Wall Street 9 months ago. Hey, let me show you. That's the video right there. I'm standing there looking at the mural on Black Wall Street. Come on, focus. Focus. It says bringing awareness to Black Wall Street vlog entry. So, check that out. That'll give you some information on what they're trying to do right now, But it was an atrocity what happened to those people back there. It was sinister. And I'm going to say all of those people, their recompense is coming too, man. Like all of this oppression that these Gentiles done to us, all of it is going to end abruptly. And when it ends, we're going to be top of the food chain. We're going to be top of the food chain. Our Lord and Savior is coming back. And once he's resurrected and he brings true justice to this earth, a lot of these people who committed these atrocities and these acts against our people, they're going to be in fear. They're going to be terrified. They're going to be in regret. They're going to be in eternal fire, straight like that. But you know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to come through with an early morning stream, the 12 tribes. So far as scheduling this week, this weekend, I'll be headed to Washington, D.C. Maybe I could do some vlogging there. Maybe I could do some things there, some posting there. Danielle, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says women should be able to wear their bonnets out to the store, their kids, school, anywhere they feel without being disrespected, just like men wearing do-rags. Listen, you can wear what you want to wear, but I don't think that Monique was trying to be I don't think she was trying to be disrespectful. I think what she was doing was showing that, if we want to be respected as people, I want you to just look at our women of the past, our men of the past. If you want to throw men in it, because even though we're not talking about men at the moment, just look at how we conducted ourselves. I mean, we're different. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not going to argue with you, but thank you for the $10 contribution. You can wear whatever the hell you want to wear. But I feel like it's wrong that people got upset with Monique for stating her opinion. She's an older sister. She knows how these people look at her. Look, she done been in offices with all type of people. She knows some of the jokes that they telling and how they act and what they see. Just put it that way. But you do what you want to do. Somebody too much says, can you make videos on inspiring upcoming newcomers to blogging and journalism? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Charlize, thank you for the $5 contribution. Highly appreciate it. Thank y'all for tuning in. For those who don't know, yes, too much says Monique was 100% right. I agree. I think she was right. I think she was right. It just is what it is. Yeah, Lachia Coleman says it looks unprofessional to other nations. They laugh at us, period. Yeah, it just does. It just does. I mean, y'all would be surprised on how much our beauty, and I'm speaking of our people, not our beauty, that's the wrong word. Well, our women's beauty. Yeah. You would be surprised on how much our women's beauty dictate culture in society, or how they conduct themselves. They want you to look a certain way. Listen, never get it twisted. You melanated women out there, your beauty means a lot. Your beauty means a lot. How you conduct yourself, how you dress, how you carry yourself, it means a lot. All right? It has power. It has power. That's just all I'm saying. But all praises to the Most High. I'm glad y'all caught another broadcast. We'll be streaming again tomorrow. Maybe I'll do another tribe, or maybe I'll do another current event topic. But all in all, it's going to be a dope stream. Thank y'all for supporting. For those who would like exclusive raw uncut content, the link to my Patreon is in the description box. Also, if you would like to support this work via Cash App, 10% of all contributions go back to the people. All right. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all. Follow me on Instagram at newbreed404. Y'all have a blessed day. With that being said, shalom and peace.